Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. Morning, George.
Good morning.
Jaxson.
Good morning.
You're back up and running.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, out of hospital.
Almost back to normal.
Yeah, and I was like sure you were half doing it to yourself to get those painkillers.
Yeah, they were pretty fun.
Last week you were off your head.
Yeah,
I said that.
yeah, I thought I was fine. Like I didn't think anything of it because I was like, oh yeah, just take painkillers, knee sore. And then when I listened back to the podcast, like 2 days later, I can't even listen to it anymore. I go, what?
We were talking about something and you go, and I said something, you go, yeah, and something else, and yeah, heroin, woo! Like, I was like, okay, Jack. So,
I walked out to
the
front door and said to Matt, was Jacko off his head this morning?
Yeah. What about when he sits down and goes, I feel phenomenal. Yeah. I feel phenomenal.
Because I did. I was flying.
You look like crap. You look like you just come out of a nightclub.
I was saying to Tanya, because I was telling Tanya about it on the phone, and she goes, yeah, I didn't pick up on it, but the second time, like, I watched it through because he said, she goes, as soon as you started talking, I just watched Matt and his hands just crossed in front of his face and he was staring at you. And I just knew you were going to cough it after
Isn't
that.
Popping painkillers in his little cabin at the front.
Yeah, I've
Imagine it with a strobe light on.
I've stopped all the painkillers. I feel good now.
Good. You look good now.
Yeah, feel good.
Let's get straight into this. There's some questions that came through, so let's do that real quick, and then we'll talk about some things. Yeah.
Yep.
Tara's birthday today. Happy birthday, Tara.
It is Tara's birthday. What did she get?
She got
spoil her?
the hardest. You know, I'm a very good present buyer. Like I listen all year, and I just listen to things along the way, and I just know exactly what to get. This year, I was stumped. She doesn't need anything. She just literally doesn't need anything. So she got a new mum bag. Ash Roberts picked it for her. It's a Gucci mum bag.
Is she awake? Has she opened it all
She's
yet?
awake, yeah.
Okay.
And then she wants to do the cryo machine. So I've got 10 visits to that, and then perfume. Usually I get like lots of things. I just had nothing to buy.
What's important to her would have definitely changed. I would
totally
think as well. Yeah.
She's not really into the bags scene anymore, like the Louis Vuittons and things. But I was stumped, and I said to Ash, "What can I get her? I just can't think." Because she buys things as she goes along, and usually I'm like, and I'm just not like a buy a thing because like go get a Tiffany necklace. It's got to mean something or be the appropriate time. So anyway, so Ash picked the bag and I was like, good choice. So Tara was like, oh, that's great. She's pumped.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, a bit boring, but it's good. It's all right. Should we read some questions?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll read a few of these ones quickly and then we'll just bang the things out. And then we'll get straight in. You got a topic and then I've got a couple. There's a bit to talk about today. We've got John McGrath coming on next week. Yeah. And I'm going to talk about, might talk about some real estate stuff, but mainly about business, personal, advice, success. And we've got Gav Rubenstein coming on. So probably the next week after that. So there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about. I like Gav. He does good stuff out there. So quick one. Prior post putting you in a space of disappointment. Prior post putting you in a space of disappointment. Oh, okay. What do you do when the crabs are your family or partner? Are the crabs in your life pulling you down? Well, I'm not the best person to ask because I'm a bit like guillotine. I am. You?
My mum's always been really supportive of everything that we've already, so I haven't really experienced anything like that. But
yeah,
I actually don't understand why it's an issue.
What do you mean?
Like, why would a parent or a friend or somebody even care like what you're doing if it makes you happy?
Oh, well, sometimes people they don't want you to do well. Like they want you to stay like them. So yeah, a bit negative drain in your life. So it's.
Do you think it's because they feel like they can see forward for you better than you can at that point? In your life.
Can I show you something?
Yeah, definitely.
This is exactly along these lines. People send me stuff all the time, right? So much stuff, and sometimes I'm like, why do they send that to me? Like advice on this and advice on this. But so someone sent me this video last night, and can we just watch the video for 1 sec?
How many of you have ever heard of the universal law of attraction? How many of you believe in the universal law of attraction? For 22 years, I never believed in any of that spiritual mumbo jumbo. Until one day, I found a law in the physical universe. It's a law in physics. You might want to write this down. It's called constructive interference. And it says that when two wavelengths of equal length meet, the size of the frequency doubles. Neither Einstein or Newton could originally explain this theory. But what this means is that you can get energy from conversation. You can get energy from what I'm telling you right now. You can get energy from the people around you, or they can take energy away from you. And so I started to go down this spiritual rabbit hole, and I found a research project called the Spain Scale of Emotion, SPANE. Researchers were able to take 25,000 subjects and put them in a room, and they were able to measure the frequency leaving the human body. And they were able to isolate the frequency with such accuracy that they could tell the difference between somebody experiencing anger and passion, joy or arousal, elation or despair with that accuracy. And do you know what the most powerful frequency to leave the human body is? Frequency of authenticity. Authenticity is 4,000 times more powerful than love. Do you know what authenticity happens? Authenticity happens when your words are truthful and you believe what you're saying. How many of you have ever heard of the universal law?
So there's another video of the same thing, right? So do you know Gary Brecker?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, he's a human biologist, and he, like all scientists, didn't believe in the law of attraction and all this sort of stuff. I've seen that video before, but someone sent it to me last night. He goes on in that talk a little bit more and says, when you're with somebody, they can uplift your energy or they can take it down. That's exactly what it is. This is an energy thing. It's not the person's bad or this or that. They're just draining your energy like that. So why wouldn't you just leave it? Why wouldn't you? Do you sit in a movie that you can't stand?
No.
No, what do?
Turn it off.
Yeah, walk out, turn it off, whatever. I've walked out a million movies. Jackson's watched me many times because I'm like, well, why would I sit here for an hour and a half just wasting my energy on something I don't like? Same. People get so caught up in this. People get so caught up in like, oh, it's my partner or it's my family. Get out of there. Get out of there.
But do you think it's harder when it's family?
No.
See, because I
don't talk to two of my kids. Do I, Jack?
No.
Yeah, I don't. Whether that's the right thing or not, I just let them do their thing. If they don't want to, be that, it was very difficult. You know them.
Yeah.
You've been around the whole life. Very difficult. But one of them's more about a girlfriend of theirs, and the other one's about themselves. And it's like I can't change them. I can't make them be this or make them be that. I can just worry about my own energy. And what happens is when you keep your energy high and you're very energy focused, people either come in or bounce out. If they bounce out, don't chase them. Let them be. And let them find their own way with stuff. If they want to be a part of your world, so be it. But if they don't, you can literally go, have you ever seen a drug addict in a family? Sends the whole family down on a sinking ship. It takes all the energy, all the focus, creates the biggest mess. Have you seen that?
I haven't, no.
No, well,
yeah.
On TV,
but I know what
the
you
show
mean,
Intervention used to be, same thing. If they want to be a drug addict, let them be a drug addict. That's the way I see it. You can do what you need to, but if it gets to the point where it's literally dismantling your life, let them go. If you wake up every day next to somebody you don't want to be with, don't be with them. What did he say was the most powerful force in the universe? Authenticity. What do you genuinely feel, Jordan? What do you genuinely feel about each topic in your life, and what do you want to do? That's the thing.
It is interesting that brings the highest frequency. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
You would think it'd be something like excitement and passion, and because that's what you feel. If somebody says something to me truthfully, I'm like, okay, yeah. But if somebody's high energy and excited and that, I feel like that brings more energy out. I'm not disagreeing with him, but it's just an interesting thing for him to say.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but you can't maintain high energy, and you can sell it to someone.
Yeah.
Jordan, let's go down to Parramatta Road. Let's buy a car. I can't wait. Try and maintain that if you're not truly feeling like it.
It's a mix.
But if I said to you, Jordan, I think you're being a real friggin' prick. I do. I think you're being dishonest. I think you're doing this. This is the way I feel about it. Do you feel that's coming, if it was a thing, I'm just saying it, do you feel that's coming from a place where I genuinely feel that's true?
Well, with my relationship with you, yeah.
Yeah. I said to Jaxson the other night, was it last night? I said, they never guess. Like, I never make things what I say to them is what it is every time, good, bad, or indifferent. It's just that they know that. So if I say, Jaxson, mate, you're a freaking drug addict taking this thing in the thing, or if he's doing an amazing job, I say, you're doing an amazing job, Jaxson.
I love the interview that you had with a gentleman only recently, and you said, like, within the first minute, I just know that we're not going to be the right fit for each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, but I just want the opportunity. And you're like, oh, but I just don't want the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. But
Boom.
But if you just go on that one line,
Yeah.
let's say you lived life authentically. What does that mean? What does that truly mean? Do you want to go to dinner? No. Why? Oh, because I don't want to.
Let me throw something interesting in here, okay? I agree with that completely. You'll say no. You will only do the things that you want to do, for sure. There's a lot of things that I do for my family that I don't want to do, but I know it makes them happy, and I know that it keeps everybody together.
Let me
and I
clarify
will
that.
do it.
Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
1 second. Because I do stuff that I don't want to do if it's important to Tara.
Yes.
Or it's important to Jaxson. Like, I do.
Yeah.
But I'll do it, like, out of love.
Yes.
Yeah?
So that's an exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to feed Summer last night, but Tara's struggling with the boobs at the moment. She's got mastitis. So I can say, no, I'm not feeding Summer, but I did because it's important to her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't just walk around just going, whatever. But if I genuinely feel that this is not worth, I don't want to invest an hour in being here, I'll just say no.
Yeah. So do you think it's something that you need to, like, you've almost got to follow your gut on what you feel is right?
Yeah.
Like if my mum said to me tomorrow, I don't want you to work in real estate anymore. I want you to be a florist because we've all been florists and we need you to continue on the family name. I would think there's a part of me that would be like, I want to do it for my family. The other part would be like, no, hang on a second, that's really selfish because I don't want to live the rest of my life doing that.
Yeah.
So you got to make a decision in that moment.
You
like,
do.
You're actually not being fair to me.
Yeah. And what's best for your situation? What's best for what do you truly feel? I think a lot of people compromise on how they truly feel. So, like, even to ask about what if it's a partner that's a crab, feed them to the fish, get rid of them. Like, honestly, like, if you don't want to be with them, just don't be with them. Doesn't mean it has to be ugly. You've watched my divorces. They're not ugly, like, at all. It's just that I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. So does it take courage to do that? Yeah, a little bit. Is there a lot of hurt? Yeah, there is. Made different decisions, maybe. But at the end of the day, if you keep walking towards what feels right, you're only going to get a life that is right. Aren't you?
Yep.
Let's do some more questions.
Yep.
All right. You had one about networking, didn't you?
Well, I said to you after that podcast last week of you and I going at it, somebody said, because we had some disagreements with how you used to network and how I network, and somebody wrote in and said, oh, well, Matt, what would your recommendations be for somebody that's owning a business that wants to network? Like, what is a smart use of time and where, like, should people be networking?
Yeah. Well, I don't believe in networking at all. I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't. I haven't never done it.
Yeah. See,
I'm more
do.
interested in brand than I am networking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vultures network.
Let me ask you something. I don't think of things as networking.
I think it's fake.
Yeah, the word
You're
networking
fake.
sucks.
You're fake.
That's
sometimes.
not true.
No, you are.
No.
Because you go to a thing to try and see what you can get out of it.
No,
Sometimes. Yeah, you do.
No.
You do, 100%.
I never go to anywhere that I don't want to be.
Sometimes you do. No. Sometimes you like being seen and high-fiving people when you walk into an event. It's like, Jordan Bulmer's here. You want all the music to go off. You walk in, high-five.
True.
But you do go there with an agenda, and I don't like that.
But like when you go door knocking, you do cold calls, there's agenda there as well.
Building a relationship for over time, just saying, hello, do you want to see a house? No,
Well, what's the
okay.
difference between doing
Because
that
I
in
feel
an
like
event?
I feel like it's a bit fake. I've seen millions of networkers over time, and they're always like going,
Yeah.
oh, what can I get out of this meeting?
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a listing.
I agree with that.
I'm not looking
Yeah.
for a listing. I'm looking to build a relationship over time, slowly. I know you are too, but it's like there's just something irky about, like, network marketing. There's just something irky about it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in USANA and I've been in Mona V.
What's that?
network marketing things. So
Okay.
Karina's mum was sort of into network marketing. So Usana was a
what is
vitamin
network
product.
network marketing?
Network marketing is like they have a product, Mona V, and it's like this is like a berry drink, like a acai drink, and they brought it out, and so you become the salesperson, and then everyone is a prospect. I understand the philosophy, I get it, but it's like trying to get people to buy stuff, and they probably don't even want it.
That sounds yuck.
Yeah.
But can I give you my opinion?
Go for it.
Business is, the more relationships you have, the more potential business that you have. That's fair to say. You're just an absolute machine at doing numbers, like better than anyone that I've ever seen. But I enjoy just being dropped into places and talking to people. Go back to when I was 18. I used to do that, and I wasn't even in business. So obviously, there's a part of me that enjoys that whole, just who is this person, whatever that looks like. But I don't go to events that I don't like and try and do it. Like I don't go to the tennis club and go walking around. Everything that I'm involved is an interest to me. The golf club, the surf club, the football club, like all of those events that I become involved in different parts. I would go there if I wasn't in business. I just happen to be in business now, and maybe I do spend a little bit more time talking and, well, who is that person? But I maybe wouldn't do that if I was in business, but I would still be involved in the clubs. I find it easier because you're there anyway with a common interest.
You find it easier, but it's not going to be a successful formula. I've never met a successful person that says, I just go to dinners.
It can't be. Yeah, no, I
doesn't.
agree with you.
But you have this emphasis around it. Like you have this, like, because it's lazy. Like it is, because it is. I know you're changing. We've had many discussions, and I know you're going to. I've never met one person that says I became successful because I went to business networking breakfasts.
Yeah, no, it can't be one thing you do on just that's all I do. But it is an important combination for somebody that enjoys it.
Sean McGrath doesn't go anywhere.
But did he back in the day?
No, he doesn't. He goes to bed early. Doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't go nowhere.
I know you don't agree, but I'm just wondering if
It's not that
because
I don't agree.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the way you think about it, because you think you're going to become this ultra mega superstar by going to these dinners and lunches all the time. It's just not. It's not practical. Like, and it's a part. It could be a part of your thing. Like golfing is great. Golfing's a great networking thing because you go with people that you are in the same industry with. Jamie's a good networker via golf, and I hope you become one too. I think that's really good. A lot of deals are made on the golf course, they say. You know, that's because you're with sort of people that you're there for a reason. You know,
Yeah.
like let's Wayne Shivers and Shane Smolin and all these people like go play golf and then hang out for a couple of hours and talk business.
So you think little bits of I wouldn't even call it networking, but it's like different ways to build relationships at different times, but it can't be your number one focus. It just has to be something that you do when it feels like it's the right time, the right situation, the right people.
I think so. I'm a bit clouded with it, right? Because I've watched so many people, like networkers, that go to things to see what they can get. Like, yes, they're going to start up a conversation with someone, but they really make me feel weird. I don't know. I'm thinking of a few of them over the years, and I've had the benefit of meeting a lot of people, not just real estate agents, but a lot of people, public speakers, this and that. And they go to these events to try and milk it.
Yeah.
And I just, it gives me the irks.
You know what it actually does? It discredits your status,
It does.
I think.
Yeah.
Because like if people feel like you're going to networking things to get things out of it,
Yeah.
straight away I'm like, no one wants to work with you.
Yeah.
No one knows you.
Yeah.
No one wants to do any business with you. And you've got to come and do the world's most annoying thing and walk around and small talk to people at I'm talking about networking events.
Yeah.
But you go to a golf club when they're doing the presentation for the end of the year, everybody's having a great time. You're there anyway because you're a
think it's
part
awesome.
of the club.
One of the best things you do is put on the Jordan Bulmer Cup.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Like it's an event. Like I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes you do like want to go have lunches and things all the time. Like you got to stop that. It's really annoying. Let's do another question. Because you just like hanging at lunch, I think. There's a lot of questions, but we'll just do two more, okay?
Yeah, two more.
Have you ever thought of upgrading your chest freezer to an ice bath? Yes, I just bought one. It's called Fjord. Check them out. No. Yeah, FJORD. Very good. Best in Australia. More frequency stuff, maybe deeper dive. We can do another one on that different. There is one here. Is there a Mrs. Jordan?
Yes.
Yes. Is Jordan on the gut health?
Not like you are. Have you seen what I've been eating lately?
Yeah, you're looking good. Looking
You
healthy.
are saying that I'm looking good.
You are. I
But
tell you all the time. People think I just like bag you not bag you, but just hammer you all the time. I don't. I tell you lots of different things.
well, you do. And you know what? I was watching the David Beckham thing last night, and he was saying how tough his dad was on him. And I was like, tear was coming to my eye. I was like going like, but he was saying, I think someone said, did you ever want to punch him or something like that? He goes, no, never. I knew it was the best thing by me. It is like, it's tough love.
Comes from the right place.
Yeah.
I think people can feel it. Let's do one more. How many nappy change? But people write in, see if I've changed nappies. Let me make it clear, I don't change nappies. But I cook dinner for Tara every day. I cook breakfast for Tara every day. I feed the baby when I can. It's like these people think I'm just like, don't do nothing. I changed Jackson's nappy. Yeah. And I used to get up at 4 a.m. and pat him on the bum and then try and get him back to sleep. Yeah. I got PTSD from it all. Last one. We'll finish on this one, but we'll do another question one. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given in your career, and how did it help you? Let's start with you.
The best piece of advice I've been given in my career. There's lots of different things at different times. I think if it was in real estate, and it's something that I've sort of put together with bits and pieces from different people, like a young agent called me the other day and said to me, am I too old to start in real estate? I'm 25. What would you do? And I said to her, I would pick an area that I want to work in for the rest of my career. If you're serious about it, don't move. Go. I want to go to that career. Pick if there's an agent in that marketplace that you'd enjoy working with, and see if you can work with them or under them for however long it takes, so you can build their business, learn from them, work in the area that you like. But you also got to work at a company that is a fit to you, has the same values, you respect the leadership, you respect the company, and you want to essentially be there forever as well. I said no chopping and changing. Like, once you pick, and you might go, actually this company's not for me, but you want to try and get one company, work under one person, or pick one marketplace and just never stop. That's what I think.
Good one. I agree.
Yeah.
I reckon there's 3 for me. Similar. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Most important thing. Stay in your lane. People chop and change, like you're saying.
Yeah.
How many agents have we seen chop and change?
One of my friends just changed marketplaces after 5 years. I was like going, what? I couldn't imagine starting again.
Just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
It's going to take 10 times more work to achieve anything than you think it's going to take. So for sure, it's going to, whatever you want to do, whether it's florist, athlete, real estate agent, business person, it's going to take 10 times more work to achieve it. For sure. So whatever you think
That's a really good one.
That's a really, that's
Because I
such
don't
good
think
advice.
people see the work.
They don't.
I don't think people actually see what... I didn't realise... Like, I knew David Beckham was a very, very skilled athlete, but I didn't realise the amount of, like, discipline and work ethic that was all in the background. Because you don't know with these people. You know that there's, but they all have a little bit of something not right.
That's why you do well. And the last one is become known for something. So work an area in our world, become known for something. If you're in Jackson's world, become known for his amazing photography or videography. And there's a guy called Carson or something.
Carson? I don't know how to... Carson.
He's got just great photography that I like looking at. And if I think about him, I think that. So what's your position? What are you going to be known for? So if I wanted to be known for Womble real estate back then.
Yeah.
And then my brand stood for world-class service, attention to detail, and speed. So that was my 3 things that I wanted my brand to be known for. So
that's a good point too.
Yeah.
What is my brand known for?
Yeah, what is my brand known? You got to build a brand.
So you were speed. What was the other 2?
Speed, attention to detail, and world-class service.
Yeah.
So,
brilliant.
Yeah, they're very vague things, but when people touch me, I wanted to everything be done quickly, And even now, like I'm the same. Like I lose my nana if things haven't gone quickly or it's like not done, and it's like.
Yeah.
Because that's your brand. You have to keep aligned with what your brand is. Other people might not want that exactly, but the most important thing you can do is build a brand. I think personal brand is going to be so important in years to come. You know, with yours as well. Like I'm like, you know, if I look at you, I think your brand is tightening up more. Before it was like you just wanted to be famous, and that's not a brand. You know, like when people touch your business, what's the effect from that?
I was actually going to add one more thing. I was going to say, can I add one more thing? It's probably like a summary of everything that you said, but protect your reputation with your life.
Totally.
Like, if you say you're going to do something, you do that thing. Like, you fall on your sword before you go against your word. Like,
absolutely.
I reckon anybody could do a handshake deal with me on anything, and I would never go back on it, no matter what it looked like.
Yep.
And you're the same.
Yeah. I've told you the story. Two things. Warren Buffett says it takes a lifetime to create a good reputation and 5 minutes to wreck it. So true. And the other thing was that story. When I was a practicing Mormon, I used to listen to a lot of church tapes and a lot of successful people in the Mormon church on the higher tiers. And one guy sold his company, you know, he sold it $50 million, shook the guy's hand, and then literally 2 weeks later, hadn't done the deal yet, 2 weeks later was offered $250 million for his company. And I'm pretty sure that's the right numbers. It was around that. And he took the 50 because he shook his hand. Like, it's easy to say, but when you're in that moment of like, wow.
Especially as a Mormon, because you could spend $200 million doing amazing humanitarian work.
Yeah, totally.
To the church, to the people.
Yeah.
So that would be something that would you'd be really torn on as well.
But even the difference, like, you know.
It's not like it's an extra $5 million.
No, it's
5 times.
Yeah. It's honouring that handshake or that word. You know, I had a guy sitting in front of me a year or two ago to say how his handshakes, his bond, blah, blah, totally ripped me off. I rang him and said, well, what about things? Oh, no, I didn't say that. I was like, yeah, you did. Like, it's like, but on that note as well, when you get ripped off, forget about it. Just move on.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that's 40 grand is so important to them, just move on and don't get too caught up in it, because you can spend the next year being caught up in it. So anyway, that's my business advice. Let's talk about one topic. Yep. Success is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Success is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. I think there's an illusion about success. I think people think it's a place you arrive at. Like even last night, I'm thinking this property hasn't sold, that property hasn't sold. So go see the owners, re-strategize, maybe reduce the price on this and that, because we're very protective of price. And it's like all these years later, I'm still talking about the same thing, doing the same stuff. You know, that might not be for everybody, but for me, I made a decision a long time ago to be a career real estate agent. You know, that's what I wanted to be. And I didn't, you know, although I'm a part owner in the company, I didn't want to be a business owner. Like as in, when I say business owner.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Like run the business. It's not my strength, because you can do really well. Everyone seems to want to own an office. Couldn't think of anything worse.
It's ego.
Pardon?
It's ego.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, go and own an office and then you got to come up with your brochures and the this and the that and manage people. Jamie's a fantastic businessman.
Well, one of our friends just changed. Remember, didn't he say to you, I made so much more money and was way less stressed when I wasn't an owner?
Yeah, good friend of ours. Yeah, he bought a couple of offices and he's like, mate, just wow. Because I used to make so much more money and have so much more time. He goes, oh, what did I do? But I was acutely aware of that as well. Because it's like there's something amazing when you're clicked into doing what you're good at. Like I'm good at handling houses and dealing with people and bouncing around and all of that sort of stuff. Sitting there talking to a realestate.com rep or a whatever. Like I went to a meeting the other day with Jamie and I leave it all to them. I don't get involved very much unless Jamie says, can you come to this meeting? The spreadsheet was up there looking at all the spreadsheets for the company, and I was like so falling asleep. And he's like, are you still with us? Like, are you listening or whatever? I was like, not really. This is so boring. And he's like, but they love it. You know, he's just wired like that. You know, he did 4-unit maths and all this sort of stuff. I'm just not. And it's so, I'm not saying talking about running an office, but ordinary things can create massive success. You look at my day, breathing.
So how does somebody, if they're listening right now, go, well, what are my ordinary things?
Okay, great. Exactly what we're going to talk about. Health is number one for me now. Never used to be. Health is number one. So I've got my sights set on 55, but I'm like, how do I get the most optimum level of health in my life? So I've got to start studying people. Gary Brecker, who else do we do, Jack? All these people along the way. Wim Hof. No, he's like business. Yeah, Hermosi. But you're right, in business. So if health is your thing, and that's part of one of your things you want to give time to and focus on, who are you going to listen to for a start? And then what are you going to do every day? So before I did this podcast, I've done the 4 oysters, I've done the pods, I've done the powder, I've done the ice bath. I didn't do cardio today because I didn't have enough time. And I never want to be rushed. It's a decision I made. I never want to be rushed. So if I don't have enough time, I either move it, or today I won't do it because it's Tara's birthday. We're going to go out tonight. Move it to the side. But every single morning starts the same for me. It was windy and sort of half rainy this morning, but I'm in the ice bath doing my thing. Why? Because it's an ordinary task that gets rid of inflammation, that has all these benefits, shock proteins, all of this that you can't get anywhere else. You can't do it. You can spend an hour on the treadmill and not have the same effect as a 7-minute ice bath. I'm not a scientist, but listen to Wim Hof and Gary Brecker and all these people. I'm like, okay, so if I want to get the best version of me, what am I prepared to stick to? Eating 4 oysters. I used to hate oysters, but eating 4 oysters. We were just talking about the oyster man before we got on here.
Yeah.
Oysters have so much rich minerals in them. You know, the pods and all this sort of stuff. So that's my commitment to doing ordinary things. Do I have to do that? Probably not. Really, what's going to happen? Probably not. But I want to hum inside. So that's the small price I'm willing to pay. I don't have to, that's all very inexpensive stuff too. Like, you don't have to have, it's a chest freezer I bought for $700.
So go back to it again. What are my ordinary things? You look at it in pillars. So you look at it in, what are my ordinary tasks in my health pillar that every day I can do that will move my health forward, and then your relationships and your business and
the
your
morning.
wealth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the morning, controlling my energy as well. So law of attraction is a big thing for me. And what I've learned over time, little bit by little bit. So if someone was going to say, okay, I want to get healthier and I want to learn more about energy, well, wake up without an alarm clock at a time when your body's ready to wake up. And if your job doesn't allow for that, you're going to have to start making some adjustments. Maybe that's not the right job for you. Like, I wouldn't work a job where I had to commute to Sydney. I just wouldn't do it. You know, we had to leave to go to Sydney earlier this week. I can't get there because I've got to stick to my morning routine because it sets me up right. And then the oysters and all this sort of stuff, it's like that's the little tasks for health and energy that sort of like captures it, and then I head to work feeling the best I physically can. So what would be ordinary tasks at work?
Whatever your KPIs are, normally.
What are yours?
Mine are 10 connects, 2
Do
market
you do 10
opinions.
connects every day?
Well, I text you last.
Every day?
Yeah, I think I do, but I think I could do better or more ordinary connects.
Explain.
So I texted you yesterday
Yeah.
and said I did 1 buyer appointment, no market opinions, 30-something calls that were warm, spoke to all of my owners and booked in a bunch of appointments. And then I said I had no time to do my cold connects, but I sat and did 30 text messages to everybody that are in this building to tell them about a sale that I did yesterday. So I did a mix of different things yesterday, but today I said I've got 2 hours between 9 and 11. I'm going to double my connects to make up for yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great point because
But I didn't feel like I let myself down yesterday.
No.
Because I still stretched in other ways to make it work.
yeah, and look, you got to do that. It's like me taking cardio out today. I understand that. But if you want to be successful, let's talk about pillars. Health and energy first, done.
Yeah.
Family,
Which should come in the morning.
For me, yeah, that's right. Next one, Tara breakfast. Every morning I have breakfast with Tara. I make it. Done. Go to work. You got to know what's going to move your business forward.
Yeah.
Whatever business you're in. It really baffles me why other businesses don't door knock. or don't cold call and things like this. Like, don't have to be intrusive. Just like, hey, I'm a florist. I'm down the road. First bunch of flowers for free or half price. Come see us. Something like that. But you got to know how many people you're going to connect with today to move your business forward. How many is that for you? 5, 10? Mine was 40. But let's say it's 10. So the ordinary thing. Do you have to do it? Probably not. If you never prospected again, Jordan, you'll probably still do okay. But if you want to do really, really well, it's like optimum health. There's a price to pay with it. Like, first you got to know what the other successful people have done. I'm not a human biologist, but if Gary Brecker says do breathing, which I do every morning as well, do breathing, I'm going to do breathing. Because he says the presence of oxygen is the absence of disease in the body. So you need more oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring that in. So at work, 10 connects. Can you do 10 connects?
Definitely. Yeah.
Then how many appointments do you need to do to make it a successful day? 1 market opinion, 2 buyer appointments.
Yep.
And then what does your afternoon look like? You're going to train, do this. Like, I train in the afternoons, come back, have a sauna, come home, have dinner with Tara, have an ice bath, go to bed early. Yeah. Done. Tell me what's exciting in that day. It's sort of exciting for me, it is, but it's like, what task in there is extraordinary?
Nothing.
None.
But
what it will do is create the most phenomenal version of yourself in 5 years' time.
What becomes extraordinary is the results.
Exactly.
Like, I watched you transform your body within 5 years from, remember when you were like real skinny, you had like a little bit of a belly, to like probably one of the best, I don't follow bodybuilding, but one of the best bodies for your age in the country.
Yeah.
From little mind-numbing tasks over and over and over. Even your birthday blew my mind when we went away and you ate raw salmon, a bowl of raw salmon, because you didn't want to break your diet, not even on your birthday.
Yeah.
And that's all they had.
Yeah.
And I watched you eat it going, God, for goodness sake, just for one day, eat something different.
Yeah. But on top of that now, I have the gut health diet, which is polar opposite to the bodybuilding diet.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's healthier for me. So bodybuilding is not a very healthy sport. I'm not talking about the testosterone and all that stuff. I'm talking about the diets, the down weight. I was running on 6.5% body fat. I was tired all the time. I'm probably 10% now, maybe a bit more, around that. Whereas I feel the best I've ever felt. Like the best. I used to have naps all the time. Now I don't have any naps. I get to the night and I'm like, I'm still buzzing. It's so good. So you got to bring like each step in. If you're people listening to this and go, well, how do I make my business increase? Well, connects. There's no other way to do it. Write a thank you. How many thank you cards did you write yesterday? If you own a business, let's say a pet dog shop. What are they called? Dog shop?
Grooming business?
No, grooming business. Yeah. Let's say you owned a grooming business. How many thank you cards did you write to your clients last week? Thanks so much for bringing Poppy in last week. We love her. She's so well behaved. Look forward to seeing you 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Boom. You have a client for life. They'll remember that. There's energy off thank you cards. They will remember that for years to come. Years to come. 1 thank you card. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
How many people would they say, you know what this pet shop, the groomer did? They wrote me a thank you card saying how well Poppy's behaved. Do people love their dogs?
They're like family.
They love that so much. And we used to have a little holiday house, Shelley and I in Kilcare, called Miss Sparkle's Holiday House. Yeah, Miss Sparkle's Holiday House. Sparkle was the dog. Used to have a big picture of Sparkle up there. I know it's a bit crazy, but it is what it is. But you have the big picture of Sparkle on the wall. You'd be amazed at how many people from Sydney, especially gay couples. There's 3 of us in the family, John, myself, and Fido. We are, so neat and tidy. We're looking for a family vacation. Mate, imagine writing them a thank you card saying how much they love Fido and this and that. Client for life.
Yeah.
Why don't people do that? Ordinary task, extraordinary result.
Yeah.
You look at John McGrath, he's the king. John McGrath is the king. I don't care what anyone says, he's the king. John McGrath is the king of doing little things. He did it for you. He's done it for me millions of times. Do you know how many people he's rung for me just to say thanks for listing with McGrath and all this sort of stuff? Unbelievable. Look at the guy.
Yeah.
He came and spoke to our company the other day, blew everyone away. What are you talking about that was extraordinary? Not one thing.
Yeah, true.
He told stories and he cried a bit and he this and that, like moved the whole audience. because he spent his entire life doing ordinary things really well over a long period of time. I think we've got to stop looking for this, the person that's doing really well over there did nothing different apart from stay in their lane, work really hard, and bring in a little thing after little thing after little thing that's going to improve their life. I love the gut health diet because I learn about little things, if it's a radish or it's a carrot or it's a this, and I bring it in, but I leave it in. I don't let it go, I leave it in. And that becomes part of myself then, So every meal I have now is gut health. I told you, I ate those chips. I ate those lentil chips from the service station. I've still got stress from them because it's like not in my diet. It's just not right. But I'm dead serious about it. Like I want to get to 55 and I want people to go, wow, like that guy looks really good. Like, why is that? What is it? Like, because I was looking at my skin a while ago and I was like, it's like dryish. This is like a couple of years ago. And now I'm like, what makes skin really good? And it's celery juice. So I have like 2 celery juices every day. I saw it on TikTok. But I see it, and when it feels right, I do it, and I put it in and I try it, but I keep it in there for as long as it takes. Like ice bars, I used to hate them. Now they're in there. They're just part of my day now. But I'm not willing to let it go, and I think that's the difference. People don't succeed because they don't stick to it long enough. They do. Those CMAs that we send out took me 3 years to drop to each house. 3 years, 10 a day, 5 a day, whatever. People don't know that. People think I just send CMAs out everywhere. I put a report together, took a picture of the people's house, put it on a letter, and went and knocked on the door and gave it to them every single day amongst all the other busyness. I didn't have all PAs and things at that time. It took me 3 years to do the area. That's a long time. Most people wouldn't be bothered. But that one report changed my career. That one thing done right. Is that not worth just parking your car there and going, seeing 10 owners and going, hey, I spoke to you on the phone, here's a report I've put together for you. It was terrible, the first report I did. It was a heat shrink thing that I just put together in the lounge room. Jamie helped me all those years ago. But I heard an idea, LJ Hooker idea, work an area, do this, do a CMA. I was like, boom, boom, boom. It's like all these things are going off in me. I'm like, that's what I need to do. I'll do that. And I never stopped 30 years later. I didn't stop. That's why people fail, or they don't get the results they want because they're not turning the volume up enough and then sticking to it and putting in that one idea that they heard Jordan talk about on a podcast this morning. Jordan said this, put it in and then don't stop. Stay in your lane and keep doing it. Even when everyone else is doing all these things, just keep doing it. Thank you cards. How many listings have I listed because of a thank you card? Unbelievable amounts. Unbelievable amounts. Is it not worth writing one? People can't be bothered. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was good.
Okay, thanks for everyone. We're going to go.